Hi everyone, welcome to the first ever episode of BasketBaldy presents I'm BasketBaldy. Now, all I want to do by presenting my weekly videos is demonstrate my passion and enthusiasm for the NBA that I've followed since an 8-year-old in 1992 and passing on that passion and enthusiasm to all you basketball fans around the world. You'll note that my accent's Australian and I'm wearing a Boston Celtics singlet, but I want to outline this weekly wrap-up of basketball news is intended to be completely neutral. And that's especially true for all you LA Laker fans out there, where I've got as much respect for Kobe as I do for the Laker greats Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal and Magic Johnson. Also just want to point out that this weekly basketball segment dealing with a relevant theme in the NBA is meant to be lighthearted, where from time to time I may be talking like this. The whole reason for why I'm speaking this way is because I went to the UFC gym in Sydney the other day. There was a guy that worked there and spoke like this. His name was Scotty, and he was from Las Vegas, Nevada, an alleged UFC star during the Reagan administration. Fast forward 30 years, he's just a washed up has-been from taking too many steroids and as a result, having tits like a porn star. Okay, so the very first story I'm discussing on BasketBaldy Presents is the 5 players who impressed most in the NBA Summer League. Number 5, Bobby Portis of the Chicago Bulls. Now to start this list is the sophomore from Arkansas, who many saw as being a late lottery pick, but ended up getting picked 5 to 10 spots lower than expected by the Bulls. Bobby Portis has all the skills to be a solid role player in the NBA, though his ceiling is considerably lower than the other players on this list. That aside, I believe that he will play an important role for the Bulls this year, considering the fact that Joakim Noah had such a disappointing season last year. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if Portis averages close to 20 minutes a game, but the fact that he scored 23 points and grabbed 7 rebounds against the number 1 pick of the 2015 NBA draft, Karl Anthony Towns, speaks volumes. Number 4, Jahlil Okafor of the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, the 76ers have been scrutinised over the past several seasons for their blatant tanking process that they've implemented. For me, my gut instinct tells me that Sam Hinkie will be considered a basketball genius by the time 2020 comes along, but for now, 76ers fans, you just need to stay patient. Jahlil Okafor, when you see his footwork and size that he shows in the paint, it's like Tim Duncan meets Akeem Olajuwon, and that's a beautiful combination, folks. Yes, he needs to work on his free throw shooting, and yes, he needs to improve his defense. But Brett Brown is the perfect teacher for a player like Okafor. That game against San Antonio in the Summer League where he scored 20 points and grabbed 9 rebounds suggests to me that Okafor is the future of this league. Number 3, Noah Vonleh, Portland Trail Blazers. Okay, I'm sure I'm not the only one out there who feels the GOAT, the greatest of all time, is not doing his legacy justice by his tenure as owner of the Charlotte Hornets. And the trade of Noah Vonleh will be regretted by that team for years to come. The way that Noah Vonleh played in the Summer League is testament to why I feel the way I feel. In 5 Summer League games, he averaged 17 points and grabbed 8.5 rebounds while showing a touch from all the way to the 3-point line against the Boston Celtics. It makes me think that the Blazers came out on top with that trade with the Hornets, and Noah Vonleh will be a much better player over the coming seasons than his former Hornets teammate Cody Zeller. Number 2, Kristaps Porzingis, New York Knicks. I speak in Soviet accent as he is Latvian, ex-Soviet Union state. I speak like this because when you look at Kristaps, not only he look like Ivan Drago with flat top haircut, I feel he do training like Ivan Drago, like on treadmill. Only nowadays, doctors do not inject athletes with steroids like they did in 1980s. Okay, I get all the concern about Porzingis' skill set and how it's going to translate into the NBA with his slender frame, 7'3", 233 pounds. But the way Porzingis moved around the court in the Summer League, he plays like a hybrid, folks, between Kevin Durant meets Dirk Nowitzki. He didn't like the box sheet on fire at all in Vegas, but the way he scored some of his baskets with both his hands and his deft touch both in the paint and his ability to hit long-range 2-pointers makes me think Porzingis could be the player with the most upside from the 2015 NBA draft. Number 1 on this list, Emmanuel Mudiay of the Denver Nuggets. Okay, I personally think the Sacramento Kings are an absolute joke, and for them to pass on drafting this guy when they took a player in Willie Cauley-Stein instead, who has the exact same skill set as their only superstar, DeMarcus Cousins, is testament to my view. Mudiyay's game against Sacramento, where he scored 19 points, dished 10 assists and had 3 steals, indicates to me that he's primed for a very, very bright future in this league. A league now dominated by point guards and rapid ball movement. Okay, well that's it from the first week of BasketBaldy Presents. I'm BasketBaldy. See you next week.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of BasketBaldy Presents. If you did, give me a thumbs up below and subscribe to my weekly videos.